Well, good evening. Welcome to the Ask Dr. Jenny show. I hope everybody is doing well this evening. Well, we're talking about breast cancer this evening, and we're talking about the fact that it is October, which is health, breast cancer health awareness month. And so I have a special guest with us this evening, and I am very excited to introduce her to you in just a moment. There I put a post here, and I'm just going to read some of this information. Breast cancer actually is the second leading cause of death among women in the US and the leading cause of cancer death among women globally. Incredible. However, in the US today, there are more than 3.5 million breast cancer survivors. I have one of them, Tamara L. Hunter, with us this evening, and she's going to be sharing her story and her survival story as well with us. Here's some more facts for you. Every minute, somewhere in the world, a woman dies from breast cancer. That's more than 1,400 women a day. Each year, it's estimated that over 220,000 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and more than 40,000 will die. That's right here in America. The most significant risk factors for breast cancer are being female and aging. And about 95% of all breast cancers in the US occur in women 40 years old or over. Women who get regularly screened, though, for the breast cancer run a lower risk, 47% lower than the next person of dying because they were getting screening. So we want you to join us this evening. And if you happen to be watching on Facebook, you can certainly share out this video to your friends and to the groups that you happen to belong to. If you're watching on E360 TV, you can comment because this is an interactive broadcast and we welcome your comments. You can make a comment, you can have a question, and if you would like, ask Dr. Jenny or ask myself or ask Tamara. And you can get your smartphone, go to Facebook, and we are the LWN Foundation. And you can make a comment if you would like. We appreciate everybody this evening. This is a very serious topic that we're talking about. And without further ado, I would like to bring our special guest. We've got Dr. Jenny. She's getting connected. She's getting right in here in just a moment. She'll be with us momentarily. Yes, let's bring in Tamara. Well, good
Hello.
evening, Tamara. Thank you for joining us this evening. We certainly appreciate the fact that you are here with us. Tamara is a breast cancer survivor. She also has a 501c3 nonprofit foundation, Chemo Buddies for Life. And she also has several Facebook pages too, as well as a website. We'll give you that information in a little bit. And I know Tamara because she is the 2019 Next Impactor. She is powerful. I'm so glad you're here. And I got to know her through that Next Impactor. And as a result of that, I volunteered last year and helped her with a fundraiser. She's got another one coming up here in December. 36 hours live streaming. It's is incredible. Just an unbelievable deal. We had so much fun last year, and there's a lot of fun planned for this year as well. So, Tamara, welcome again. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for asking me. I feel very honored to be on your show and the Ask Dr. Jenny show. And this subject is a very important subject to me, and it's one of the reasons that I actually got involved in the 501c3 arena. Is this very subject? So, thank you.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. It is important. I don't think that there's many people out there that haven't been touched by cancer in some fashion. And certainly breast cancer takes a lot of people, over 40,000 a year, women. And by the way, yes, men, you can get breast cancer too.
Yeah.
It's a lot lower, but it does in fact happen and it kills men too. Yeah, incredible. So we're going to be talking about some solutions, and I know that Tamara has solutions,
Mhm.
and she's got the Chemo Buddies for Life community, so you can be a part of that. Why don't you share your story with us and tell us how you were touched with cancer and how this Chemo Buddies came and evolved, I should say, as a result of your experience, Tamara.
Well, thank you. Thank you. First of all, what I would like to do is recognize all of you out there because I have a feeling that when you're hearing this subject, one of a few feelings are possibly being stirred up. And I want to recognize that right now. I do, because this is about you out there that's sitting there and listening. And typically, if I was, let's say we were in a room right now and I was up on the stage and I was talking to you all, and I would say, have you or anyone you know ever heard these three words? You have cancer. Then I would have you stand for those that it fit. And then we would look around the room, and I'd have you look around the room too. And then I'd ask one more question, so two questions only. And that is, do you know someone that knows someone that's heard those three words? Stand. Every single time I've ever asked this question now for years, and I'm in front of a room, no matter how big, and some have been big, everybody is standing and everybody is amazed. It has no longer amazed me because the statistics are real, they're factual, they're numbers. However, they represent us people. And so that's why I want to recognize all of you for being here right now and say, you know what? We do. There's so much hope. There's so much good that's happening. I do understand it personally because I've heard those three words for five people in my family through four generations: my grandfather and my mother, my brother, my daughter, and myself. Myself, I'm the one. Five different cancers. It just so happens, yeah, I was the one that it was the breast cancer. And the reason that this particular subject is so important to me is because, can you believe it? With a family that with a cancer history like ours, that that I was late in having my mammogram. I didn't have it at the traditional age, and I could have had it earlier because of the family history. So finally, I get around to doing it, and I get that call. Kind of like, we need you to come in and get an ultrasound and another mammogram.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You must
when
have, what was
go
going
ahead.
through your brain, right?
You
Scared?
know what was going?
Scared?
No. What was going through my brain was, ah, okay, I'm gonna have to wear my big girl pants because I was the one that was putting it off, even though, and it wasn't because I was putting it off. Well, maybe you never know what it is. I had all these justifications. Bottom line is, I put it off.
Right.
I was lucky, and so one of my missions in all of this is to sound the hope, the hope, and in going and having these tests, that early detection, you can be out. We believe in healing through the connection, healing through, that's operative words here, that we're healing through, that it's only a chapter in our lives. We can make that happen. And one of the ways that we can really make that happen is by all of us being aware and committed to going and getting those tests done, and on a regular basis, and listening to our bodies, doing, our the internal voice within our system. It will tell us we know something's up. We know it. We all know it when that happens, and so we need to listen
Right.
to it and do something about it. Yes.
We do, and that's the important factor you said about screening. And I read that fact that over 40% of the women that get screened are survivors, and it helps them. And I also know that the Chemo Buddies for Life, you decided to help people, to connect people, and to have a community, because one of the things I know that you said was no one should have to suffer with cancer alone.
Right.
Yeah, family, friends. So you put this Chemo Buddies network together, which is chemo. Well, and depending, it makes no difference apparently on the modality that someone might choose. But if you have cancer, or even if you have someone that you love that has cancer, or that you know that has cancer, you can be a buddy and support them. And it's about this support and how that actually is healing for people. They're
Oh
living better as
yes.
a result.
Oh yes. Oh yes. In fact, I share a clip every once in a while, and there's a doctor that's speaking. It's actually my doctor. My doctor is the one that convinced my original buddy and myself to do this. And the reason he felt so adamant, passionate, about this, and really wanted us to look at it, was because that there have been journal articles, actually medical science articles, stating the fact that if you are isolated and alone, your odds of living 5 years or longer have been diminished by only that one fact. Only one
Mhm.
thing is that you're isolated and alone. If you're socialized, we call it having a buddy, then your odds of making it 5 years or longer have been increased. Now we believe in healing through connection with ourselves, because we need to
Right.
be connected with ourselves, and sometimes we got to do some work. Let's be honest. And so we have that opportunity. We believe in having healing through connections with buddies. You can have one, you can have many, and then healing through connections within community. Because community, it has been found in multiple different studies, all different genres, is that community is number one, or close to being number one, to being one of the reasons that people live longer, happier, healthier lives, by being in a community. So, by putting all of this together, and a lot of humor, hope, heart hugs, and a whole lot of love, then you've got a formula for people not only having a better quality of life, but absolutely having the potentiality of a longer, better quality of life.
That's
That
important.
is
Mhm.
huge. Yeah.
It is important. Okay, so we're trying to get Dr. Jenny in with us too as well. She's having some problems. What else is new with this live streaming? It's always going to be something, but that's okay because we're just going to keep on rolling, and I think we can get her in. Let's just hold that thought. Come on, Dr.
Okay.
Jenny. We hope for the best, and just take it the way it comes. But I'm glad that we're talking about this. I do want to mention to the viewers, if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, you can comment, you can ask questions, and we will go to some of those as well. Remember now, if you've been watching before, hey, we've got Dr. Jenny's Biggest Loser. I'm on a diet. We're going to be talking about that later. We're going to be showing you the weigh ins and stuff, and who's losing the most weight and all that good stuff, because we're also getting healthier too. And that's part of dealing with cancer, is being healthy as well, and making sure that you're taking care of yourself.
Mhm.
Right, Tamara?
Oh yes. In fact, my part of the clinic that I was a part of, um, and thank you, Carol Berzins, one of our senior ambassadors, ma'am, I add, that one of the things at the clinic that I found, I live in the Southern California area. I did a lot of research in, once I realized I had a duck, that, I decided I was going to do my due diligence and figure out who I was going to team with to take
Mhm.
care of this duck. And I found a clinic, an organization, a medical group that their only concentration was on breast health. Breast health keeping you healthy and then getting you back, restoring you to be healthy. So, in all areas in between. And they very much into education and getting us engaged and learning, and as much as we wanted to learn, they wanted us to learn too. So they had opportunity. And I dove right in. Okay, you had a question?
Do we have questions?
No, I was just, it looked like you were going to maybe ask me a question. And so
Go
what
ahead.
we had was that we had the opportunity to also learn about health. Not only did my oncologist and my oncology surgeon really talk about this area, my we had a nutritionist that's what they specialized
Hmm.
in, was
Hmm.
working with people that are oncology patients and helping them to have the healthiest kind of an environment that they could have. And so we were educated on that. And yes, the bottom line is that they told us that we had a less of a chance to reoccur if we were able to stay within a healthy um, uh, health indexed, that we weren't in any kind of an obese situation, and that we were doing some of the other traditional healthy attitudes and practices. So
Well,
yes.
we're going to try and bring Dr. Jenny in. We don't have the video, but we might have audio. We're going to give it a try here. Doc,
Hi.
Dr. Jenny,
Oh,
there.
she's here.
Can you hear me?
You're
Yay!
talking, but yes, you're an
It just
emoji.
doesn't like my face today. Maybe I was going to break the screen. You know,
Pardon. Well,
I
at least
smoothed out
we
my hair too, Stephen, just for you.
Yeah, you paid for a camera, Dr. Jenny.
Yeah, my
yeah,
camera decided not to work. Keep
darn it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we
Oh,
just
we
lost
lost
her.
her. Oh, she's back.
She's back. Bring her in.
Bring her
I'm
back.
here. Okay.
Well,
I've been
we are
listening
so,
the whole entire time though, so I'm here. As long as everybody knows my voice, you can put a picture up on there for me if you want.
I, well, your picture is up
It's
there in the
already up
right-hand
there.
corner, Dr. Jenny.
Yeah, right there next to me.
Beautiful. Yeah, right over in the corner.
There I am. Yep,
We
this
are
is a
glad that
great
you're
topic,
here.
by the way. Super, and it is the global breast cancer. If again, here's a pandemic, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is what's killing women. This is the second highest cancer. This is the cancer that's causing the most deaths in women, and then you even have breast cancer that's plaguing men. 13% of the population that is getting breast cancer are from guys,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
that
Let's
shouldn't
talk.
be.
Do you think? I want to ask: do you think Tamara, as well as Dr. Jenny, do you think that this is predisposed, or does this got something to do with how we're taking care of ourselves?
Environmental.
And
Mhm.
yeah, environmental, exactly, or the foods that we're eating, or the medications that we've been taking. What do you guys think? Oh, ladies, excuse me.
Yes, I think you're right on track. I mean, you have risk factors um, that can contribute definitely for having, breast cancer. Any cancer, the root cause is always going to be the same, right? Oxidative stress in your cells, too much of the hormone estrogen being introduced into the body, carcinogens in our food, 100% reproductive history, genetic mutations, getting older, right? Because you're aging. Once you're, most cases of breast cancer are diagnosed after, you hit age 50. There are cases where women are younger. I had a friend that I went to high school with. She was 32 years old and died of breast cancer. 32!
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
32 years old.
Yeah.
So uh, you're at risk when your body's just out of alignment. And the biggest thing that I'm seeing, and I treat breast cancer cases all the time. I have this one patient that I'm thinking of, Laura Bowser, who I met over the phone, but I had treated one of her friends, and she calls me and says, I just got diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. but my friend told me to give you a call. And I said, how much do you love your friend? Do you trust her? She says, with my life. I said, so then you're going to trust me. She said, 100%. She flew down 2 days later to come in and do all of my IV infusions of antioxidants, 100% bypassed chemo and radiation. Her breasts never got compromised. She didn't go through any surgery, and within a 90-day period, her breast cancer was 100% gone. Her doctors were astounded. They're like, what did you do? How? I'm like, I'm doing God's medicine. This is how we should be fighting diseases in this country, internationally, in the world. I said, we know what the risk factors are. We live in a society where we put estrogen in our water, in tap water. I was like, how are we not seeing this? Oh, estrin is one of the chemicals that in tap water. I tell people, avoid tap water like the plague.
Now, coming from a man, yeah, I know that estrogen is something. Isn't that something that once you go through menopause, that maybe after menopause, that they would give you estrogen, or how does this work? I mean, I know it's naturally occurring, right?
Yep, you have the 3 different types of estrogens. Yes, you do have the xenoestrogens and you have the phytoestrogens. So the phytoestrogens from plants, the phyto, and then you have the estrogens that do naturally occur in your body from your reproductive organs being produced, and guys produce estrogen too. And then you have all the estrogens that they put as chemical fillers in our food, processed foods. I mean, it's horrifying how much soy is in our food. If you look at all of the ingredients, just go to a grocery store. I know you guys have seen this. You see soy lecithin, soy, 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 soy. Everything has some sort of phytoestrogen in it. So I tell people, avoid all these soy products, because soy will naturally convert into estrogen in our body. So the last thing we need is to have an overabundance, overexposure. So if it's in our tap water, if it's in our plastics, if it's in our foods, and then they're giving these young girls synthetic hormones with synthetic estrogens, genetically modified estrogens, that also one of the side effects is breast cancer, breast tumors, ovarian cysts, ovarian tumors, premature aging. It's like these are not symptoms that women want.
No.
So I deal with bioidentical hormones, which are the bioidentical estrogens, the estradiol, the estriol, and the estrone. But I'm also very, very cautious. Even, my colleagues are very cautious. Because of the abundance of estrogen in our society, I never recommend a woman taking an oral estrogen when they're going through menopause. I always recommend the anti-estrogens, the progesterone, right? Progesterone helps women to shrink breast tumors and also to get rid of breast cancer. So, but bioidentical progesterone, and you have mainstream medicine that uses the synthetic version of progesterone, which is called progestin, Prempro. They use it in injection form. That's actually one of the first line of defense. When a woman gets diagnosed, they try that first, but they're giving them a synthetic hormone. So then, of course, it doesn't work. And then they go into the chemo and the radiation. And if that doesn't work, well, let's just chop it off, Liz. You're polluted. Let's just remove your lady bits. And I'm like, no, give them bioidentical hormones. Give them some high dose of vitamin C, some glutathione, some CoQ10, vitamin E. I mean, you're talking mega doses of it, though. And these are even markers. Stephen and Tamara. Tamara, I love your name.
Oh, thank you.
It's so exotic. But these are chemicals that are naturally occurring in our body. These are chemicals that we can even test for. But never, ever do you go to a mainstream doctor that says, hey, let's look at your antioxidants in your body and see what your levels are. Because if they did, we'd be able to prevent all of this from even occurring, just like a car, right? Let's check your oil levels to make sure that your car is fully lubed, right? But no, they don't check for those levels. They look at cancer markers and they go directly to polypharma. They go directly to the big pharmaceutical, first line of defense. And they go to all of the synthetic hormones and also all of the anti-estrogens like the Arimidex, the anastrozole. They give women anti-estrogen. You do need some estrogen. It helps women, especially for lubrication, protects your heart. But too much, that's when you have the cancer growth, because estrogen is the hormone of growth. It exasperates. So if you even have one cancer cell and your estrogen levels are not in homeostasis, those cancer cells start to metastasize, and they metastasize really fast. Hi,
Wow.
Helen Wilson.
That's powerful information. This is one
Mhm.
of those broadcasts, folks. You gotta when go back to the replay. You gotta play it, back it up, play it to get all this information. But it's so incredible. I know, or take notes. Exactly.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
point.
and these are all studies that are out there. People should be cautious. They should be listening to this because 9 out of 10 women will have a tumor in their lifetime that can turn into breast cancer. 9 out of 10.
Wow.
Those are some scary statistics.
Well, you're
So
gonna,
diet, like you were saying, is so important. We need to watch. We need to educate.
yeah.
A younger generation of females. I had a aunt that died of breast cancer. I wish I knew then what I don't know now. And I had even my ex mother-in-law. She had breast cancer twice. Twice. So I
Well,
mean, there it is.
what? I'm trying to remember the number, but 3 million some odd survivors, as I recall the number being. Bottom line is they're survivors. You don't just die by having it. I mean, some do, and that's difficult and sad. And I understand that because I personally have lost close family members to it. But I also have family members that are extended family that are survivors. Now they did end
Yep.
up having to go to some extreme measures. But that's why we're doing this show too. And that's why we've got Tamara on here and Dr. Jenny to be able to help educate you and give you some resources because that's what the LWN Live with Nature Foundation does is try to educate, inspire, and find resources like Tamara where you can be part of the Chemo Buddies for Life community and have somebody that understands and talks and is involved. And what I just want to say is this is that when I volunteered last year to help Tamara with the fundraiser, it was an amazing thing. I could have looked at that uh, personally as maybe a failure for me because I did it on the coldest day of the year in Sarasota and nobody was at the beach, and that's where I'm doing it. But you know what? It was one of the best days of my life, and I was so pleased to be a part of it. And it didn't matter whether there was a bunch of people because what happened for me was a couple things. My dad got on camera, talked about his bout with cancer, colon cancer. We touched my uncle because he happened to be watching that show. We touched a lot of people. It didn't matter whether they were there in person, but then the whole fact is that I'm trying to help support people that are suffering with cancer and or the people that have friends or loved ones that are going through this. And what happened? That very day, I lost a very close friend to cancer.
Oh,
The very day. So my point is this we can go through this stuff. And when I gave, I received, and I grew, and I had to learn because all of a sudden it became, it's kind of like if you buy a blue car and then you didn't see any blue cars, and I'm going to get a blue car, and then all of a sudden you buy that blue car, and then there's blue cars everywhere. you know, it's like, so yes, but it all happens for a reason because I was able to grow and to learn and become stronger as a result of that. And I've been here to try and help and support the Chemo Buddies for Life group. Maybe you'll just share a little bit. Now I know after this show, you do Facebook Lives every night has got a
Yes.
theme, right?
Yes. Yes. Every night we have a community because and I'm sure Dr. Jenny, you know the studies that if what we are all about is easing the suffering of isolation, and we were doing that pre-COVID, and so we realized the fact that it doesn't matter to us, and I love what you're talking about, the solutions, Dr. Jenny. However, with our organization, We don't take a stand on what solution you're going to go out for to help rectify your diagnosis, your chapter in your life. We believe you need to believe in it. You need to understand it and believe in it. But where we come in is that we're there to support. We are there to love. We are there to be there and to help you by giving different tools and to be there every evening through lives and then so much more support. However, is to learn to have that connection with yourself, with buddies, with the community. Well, the community piece, we get together every evening. And right now, yes, we've been using Facebook Lives in a close group. We say that what takes place there stays there, like Vegas, wink, wink. The fact
Right.
that we sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's informational, sometimes it might be like educational, like let's get involved, let's learn something. And when COVID hit, we just put all hands on deck, all hands on deck. Like, what are we
Right.
going to do about this? We started educating, getting up to the minute details. In fact, I'm got the weather channel going in the background because the vice president of our nonprofit is once again in the way of a hurricane.
Mm.
She in a hospital over there getting locked down, most likely. And she every week would be coming in with relevant, up to date information for our community, that when you're in the middle of treatment and all of a sudden you've got a pandemic, and then they're saying don't go to the hospital, and then you need to, what do you do, how do you do, and how do
Right.
you navigate that, and where do you take the power back as the patient? It is your body. How do you take that power back to then say, I need to know this, and how do you get that information when everybody wants to
Hey,
to uh to
guys.
know it? So she came up with some really great ideas. We
Yes.
had them all implement them. We got through it. The initial couple of months when everybody's a deer in the headlight, we came together. We kept our cool. We got the facts, and we navigated through, and became that much closer and bonded. And we have people coming all the time, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more. However, what it gave, and then we have in the morning and hashtag time to move, bed check,
Yep.
bed check. Have you made your bed yet? Make your bed, change the world.
That's
And
right.
things like this, and so that you can be empowered. And it's amazing, Dr. Jenny. I love what you're talking about, because when you can, as the person, it's our bodies, and when we understand what's going on, we can make those educated choices, and then we've got the support around us as we are. Oh, anything is possible. All things are possible.
All
Yeah,
things are possible. I'd like to
yeah.
go to some of these questions too. We have some questions.
Yeah, we have a good question from Maria Rodriguez.
Dr.
Oh,
Jenny?
yes. Okay. Where do we start with supplements to reduce risks? Great podcast. I'm excited to get the info. Hi, Maria. Thank you for watching.
Yes,
Yes.
thank you so very much.
Prevention starts with taking care of your mechanics. Knowing the risks, number one, which we briefly discussed, environmental factors. So if you're in the famous US of A, I love to call it toxic Babylon, right? We're not going to give up a lot of those risks. So if you're not going to give up your bad habits, you have to learn how to counter modulate those bad habits, right? Assess whether you're, balance out your hormones, number one. Always do a hormone panel every single year. Look at your estrogen markers, look at your progesterone markers. And Stephen, I'll send you, all the different hormones that I personally recommend to always keep in check. Know your reproductive history. How many pregnancies have you had? You're going to be at higher risk of having breast cancer just with one pregnancy, because your hormones are going to go down the toilet, right? That baby sucks you dry, takes away everything from you. So then you're left like a little kitty cat that's meowing on their back, clawing at a yarn ball. And we don't want that.
Right.
Yep, and drinking alcohol. So studies show that women who drink alcohol are at a higher risk of breast cancer because it's interrupting your endocrine system. So see, there is a theme here. endocrine disruption. And another one, of course, is being overweight, whether it's overweight from stress, overweight from going through menopause, overweight from a lack of physical activity, bad diet. People gain weight for different reasons. So take your health seriously, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take your health seriously. I cannot emphasize medicine can be sexy. It is healthy to be healthy. It's sexy to be healthy. You can be vibrant. You can be youthful by balancing out your hormones. It is so simple. It's very inexpensive too. You're talking about at maximum maybe $5 a day, $6 a day when you're balancing out hormones. And guess what? Your hair looks good. Your wrinkles disappear. You're losing weight. Your breasts get perkier. Who doesn't want that? All of the jiggly thunder thighs start to disappear, your memory improves, and then you have happy husbands because your libido is through the roof. So balance out your hormones, number one. And then secondly, I always recommend doing nutritional analysis. You have companies like SpectraCell, companies like Genova Diagnostics, who do comprehensive nutritional analysis. And a lot of that analysis is looking at your ORAC scale, right? Your oxidative radical markers, where how many free radicals do you have in your body? Free radicals meaning cells that are being attacked by foreign substances, whether they're, substances from your food, from your alcohol, from smoking, and reduce the amount of free radicals in your body by taking those antioxidants. Load up on vitamin C, load up on glutathione, but test first so you can see. It's always so important. I love testing because then you have real data, real lifetime data. You're looking at this information, go, wow, Dr. Jenny, you're right. My zinc is in the toilet. I have no zinc. Vitamin D. Do you know how many women get breast cancer because their vitamin D levels are so low? Do you know how vitamin D is associated with breast cancer and fibroids and tumors in our breast tissue? So something as simple as vitamin D can be a game changer in women's lives and in men too. We all need it.
I wanted to mention, let's see, we got questions or yes, we got more questions. Let's go to a question here.
I think this is for Dr. Jenny.
Okay, Dr. Jenny.
Hi,
We
Kimberly.
always get to sex.
I did say
Dr.
perky,
Jenny.
didn't I?
Thank you, Kimberly. We
You
appreciate
get
that.
older, Kimberly.
Your breasts. Who doesn't like that, right?
Oh my goodness. Well, your breasts get perkier when your body is being balanced out with hormones. Just think of when you're going through puberty and your body is in absolute homeostasis. You're a young teenage girl. You're starting to blossom. Everything's working for you, right? And you turn into this beautiful flower. But that's because you have, perfect levels of progesterone. Exactly, Tina. Balance, balance, balance. So when you're balancing out your hormones, guess what? Even the good amount of fat that's supposed to be in your mammary glands start to reproduce. It's almost like going through puberty, only backwards. I've experienced it 4 different times because I went through postpartum, having children. Tamara, I don't know if you have any children, but my gosh, you know what you post baby 4. I have 4 too. Our post baby bodies. It's
3.
like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Yeah.
Do I care?
Rubbing a progesterone cream on your breast tissue when your progesterone levels are low, it just really puts that fullness back in your breast tissue, gets rid of any sensitivity, gets rid of any elasticity that you're losing, any of that collagen. You even put it on your wrinkles and your wrinkles start to disappear. And this is all functional medicine, all evidence-based. You can find all the studies on NCBI, on PubMed, at the Oxford Journal of Medicine, Pharmacological Journals of Medicine, University Journals of Medicine. I mean, this is not stuff that Dr. Jenny's making up. This is well-known functional scientific data that not all consumers know that they have access to because they don't know how to research it.
Well,
So balancing your hormones not only prevents you from getting breast cancer, but also keeps you looking young.
Who knew that vitamin D was going to help make perkier breasts? Okay. I tell you. Well, we are here talking tonight with Dr. Jenny, as well as we have Tamara L. Hunter, who is a breast cancer survivor, as well as the founder of the Chemo Buddies for Life nonprofit foundation, supporting people that are going through cancer, as well as a buddy network of people that either have been touched by cancer in some way or just want to be there for others. It's a loving, wonderful community. I've been part of it now for wow. I guess we're coming really up on probably a year or so. I believe.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. You would have been. Yeah, you would have been joining us about this time last year.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I'm just pleased and honored, and I've learned and grown and been touched like two or three times now in this last year by people that I've lost as a result of cancer. But tonight we're talking about the things that you can do. That's what Dr. Jenny's doing. Is she is educating us. If you happen to be watching on E360, and that's another thing I wanted to mention to everybody is that Tamara, you get the distinguished award for being the first E360 TV host from another program on our E360 TV.
Oh,
So, yeah,
wow.
I'm really proud about that. So, what I'm saying is,
Woohoo.
yeah,
Well,
woohoo,
thank you. Thank you.
trends.
Wow.
I
I'm
like that
honored.
term
I'm
too.
honored.
We are
Yes.
trendsetters, and so we are on E360 TV, and you can watch
Mhm.
us on Roku. You can watch us on Amazon Fire, Apple, and Android TV. Now, for you viewers, uh, yes, Tamara has a show, and it is called the Service Hero Show, and she does that. When is that now? Wednesdays, I
I
believe.
do 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Pacific, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern. And it is the show that shares the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. And Stephen, you are a service hero.
Right.
We have, and for the work that you do and with educating us in so many different ways and helping us to understand and love nature. I love that. And we have I've that we're in the third season now. We've been on E360 TV platform for a few months. I love it.
Yeah.
And we have over 400 service heroes that have been recognized. And then, of course,
Wow.
we are preparing for the 36-hour huge event because, hey, Jerry Lewis
Mhm.
telethon, watch out. The newer version is coming up. It's called a Give-a-thon, and we moved it to Giving Tuesday. However, we're borrowing 12 hours from Cyber Monday, and then through Giving Tuesday, it's a worldwide event, and we have top entertainment coming. We're going to have music and comedy and yes, entertainment. You're going to learn a lot and have a lot of fun and help make a difference in an area, the front line, the patients and those people that love and support them. It's time that we support them.
Yes.
And not, we're not a nonprofit that's raising money for any kind of, we don't take a stand when it comes to treatment. We're all about the people. And so yep, love the E360 TV platform.
I'm really proud of you, Tamara, and
Thank
I
you.
am very much so. Now, I do want for those listeners that have been following us for a little bit, we've been doing Dr. Jenny's Biggest Loser contest. I know
Woohoo!
Latina's in the audience. Thanks for joining us, Latina. So, who is going to be the biggest loser? We're on a diet. We're on the HCG diet. Dr. Jenny knows all about it. Dr. Jenny, we've been doing good. We got some pictures too, as a matter of fact. Let's pop some of those up.
Oh my goodness, you took pictures. I'm so proud of you. Look at
Hey, this was when we were filming right there from Age Vital, right downtown Sarasota, Florida. There's
getting.
Latina. Now,
Oh,
that's me
check
the
you
other day.
out. You
I
out, you
gotta
slut.
say, I look a little pregnant, but we're working on that.
Was that your starting weight on day
This is
3?
going to be my ending weight. Okay, that's today. I
Oh, that's
started
today.
what? I
Okay,
started
let's
on
see your
Friday.
face.
Okay. This is
202.
Latina.
Oh, that's Latina's starting weight.
Yes, we were supposed to start with the first weight, not the last weight, but still.
Who did that?
Let's go to the first weight. Mine was what, 205?
Okay.
Where is it? No, I don't seeing it. Scroll down a little bit here. There's the first one. Okay, 205.
205 and two. All right. So
Thank
how much
you.
weight? You guys are on day 2
No,
or
no,
3?
no.
Day
That's
3 of your low glycemic. Because you had 2 loading days,
oh
which means you ate like a pig, but your diet started on Monday.
yes, but I want to show everybody
What
too
did you guys
what I'm
wake up
eating.
at? Is this you?
That's me. Now
You
this
were
is
Mm.
what I've been
205 to
eating for
198.
dinner. Is that the right stuff to eat there, Dr.
Mhm.
Jen?
You lost 7 pounds in 3 days. Look at those
Yeah.
dishes. Wow. You got a.
Dinners that
Nice.
I made.
And how much weight did Latina lose?
Okay,
What
so
was her weigh in
Latina
today?
started, and let me just take a look
202.
here. I didn't have that. No, she didn't start at 202. That's what she was today.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I want to say that it was like 208. And so let me just take a look and see if I can see that message. Latina, I know you're in
Let
the
me-
audience. Put your beginning weight and let's then calculate that. Okay. Because folks, we are on this HCG diet and it's a great healthy way to go. Okay.
She was at
Take this picture out where you will.
207.8.
Take this picture out, please. And I want to show everybody. And then I'm going to have you put this back. Okay. So this is,
I saw her today. She already
okay, this is
looked thinner.
medication. So there's medication involved here.
Yep. Subcutaneous, meaning in the
HCG.
superficial fat.
All
And
right.
ladies, HCG, what a great supplement to help produce natural progesterone levels. Yep.
Cardiac fit.
Yeah, so you both lost 6 to 8 pounds in 3 days, not even 2 days, because today's not over. So you lost
No, it's
eight pounds in 2 days, Stephen.
she's
Tomorrow
ahead of
morning
me.
you'll be down. Mineral drops.
That goes in my water.
Yep, that helps alkaline your water. And a cancer-free body, guess what, is alkaline. Yep, so here's more prevention. You got to treat your stomach like a fish tank. If that fish tank isn't well balanced, it starts to grow that purple and green mold, right? We don't want that. And I see Tamara making those nasty faces.
Yeah. No, thank you.
So it's been good. You guys want to stay tuned because we're going to keep you updated on this. This is going to be well. Actually, we're going to lose a bunch of weight. My target was around 30 pounds, so I've got a little ways to go. I'm trying to get down to 170. I'm at 198 so far. I've already lost weight. It's working. I promise you. I'm eating healthier. See, these are some of the kinds of
And your
things that.
skin looks great, Stephen. I can notice a difference already in your complexion just from the camera. Yes. Look at that. Your skin is glowing because
Thank
you got that pregnancy glow, because HCG,
Well,
believe it or not, is a pregnancy hormone.
I still got it. So I'm doing my part, gentlemen, to try and prevent coming down with cancer because I'll tell you what, I've lost a grandfather, grandfather, on and on, uncles. Tell you what. So I'm trying to do everything that I can to get as healthy as I can so that I can be around here as long as I possibly can so I can help more people. That's the whole idea. I enjoy being around and I like helping people. That's what it's all about. And I like getting healthy. Thank you, Dr. Jenny. This is awesome.
Of course, absolutely. You're welcome. I can't wait to see where you're at next Wednesday.
I know. It's going to be fun.
You
Okay.
sure is.
Did we get a response? Maybe I know that Latina was in the audience, but I know that she's got some other stuff going on, so she might not be there. But yeah, so we both lost weight. Well, she's in the lead, but stay tuned. Every Wednesday we're here doing this Ask Dr. Jenny show. We want you to come back. We want you to tell your friends too as well. You can watch us on E360, by the way. You can watch us on Roku, Apple, Android, and Amazon Fire TV. Yeah, we're on TV for real. This is the real deal here. Tamara is also a TV show host as well. Tamara, I know that you got this community coming up. What are you guys talking about tonight?
Tonight, we're going to actually continue this discussion that we are starting right now, and about awareness and about the fact that getting people to connect with the fact that, first of all, we need to be testing. We need to encourage others to be testing. We need to be eating healthy. We need to be aware, like all of the information you've been sharing tonight is information that we have actually been sharing over the last many months on Wednesday nights, because we call it What's Up Wednesday, but we make it fun. It's really, yeah, it's really
Right.
about health and wellness Wednesday. However, we want to, make it like, okay, a little jazzy. And so we will be also, it's a lot of questions and answers too. The buddies will come in, they will talk amongst themselves, because that's why we call it a chat. And then we have leaders of the chats. We have many that specialize in different areas. Tonight it's going to be more of also being able to have an outlet, because when you come across a year after year where you're celebrating, if you will, October is the pink ribbon month. Now, there's some that have an aversion to that, truthfully, because there's the pink ribbon, and the whole idea, and I don't know if you know this, Dr. Jenny, I'm sure you do, but the whole idea about the pink ribbon and why it's, if you will, pink, was because at one time it was taboo to talk about cancer that was also in some area of the body that was considered a sexual area.
Mm,
And so to bring that out of the into the light and say, it's cancer, this is our body, we need to be able to talk about it. They threw a pink ribbon on it and said, okay, we're going to start putting a lot of effort into it also, so that they would get funds and awareness. So one
cool.
of the things too is being able to chat therapeutically together
Yes.
about how we found out, and being there with, there to hear each other's stories, because it's very cathartic when you can get it out, let it go, learn from each other, and then go forward.
Yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned about that because, and I have to say this. I said that I was going to say something about this because when I put together this broadcast this morning, it creates a post so that, and it tells people, hey, we're going live at such and such. And I'll tell you what, I don't understand it, but this is the reason why I'm on TV. I won't be censored. I won't be stopped. We'll get the message out no matter what. I don't really care if Facebook doesn't like what I say or I use some wrong term, which apparently I did, because that post disappeared this morning almost instantaneously. And there's only one difference that I made, only one sentence, and that was the title. Why am I here? Tamara, you mentioned that to me this morning when we were talking. Why am I here? That was the title of this show, but apparently Facebook didn't like that very much. So,
Mm.
my point is this, I won't be censored. And that's why I'm on E360 TV, and you can watch us there. You can go to our website, okay? Because we are going to help people get healthy no matter what. If people don't like it, people don't want to hear about it because it falls into some algorithm and pulls me down, that's okay. Go right ahead. I don't need Facebook personally anymore. If I really, I love Facebook because I've met so many good friends. I want to thank all those friends that are watching tonight on Facebook. But just know that you can always watch us on E360 TV because you never know when they're going to cut me down. And because we're talking about, well, maybe a little bit controversial stuff sometimes, and that's okay. All right. So we love you. Dr. Jenny, please share with us here what's the best advice that you can give to our viewers this evening to help prevent breast cancer and to take care of themselves.
Okay, so I would definitely always recommend to my men and my women taking natural estrogen blockers. So I have supplements in my shopping cart, but there's so many different things. Grapeseed extract, has been shown to be a natural, what's called an aromatase inhibitor. The easy, layman's term for it is estrogen blocker, because that's what it's aromatase. You have a chemical, that is aromatizing, and it inhibits that estrogen from converting, that testosterone from converting, other hormones that can convert that aromatize into these toxic estrogens. So taking zinc for men and for women, guess what? It's antiviral. So with flu season here and all these crazy viruses going around like COVID, so you're getting bang for your buck with that. So,
Awesome.
zinc is also a natural Viagra for men. I call it a poor man's Viagra. And
Ah,
guess what? It's helping them to, take care of their breast tissue and also their prostate, right? Prostate cancer also from too much estrogen in their body. And doctors don't discuss this with men. So, a different type of cancer, but still very similar. Estrogen blockers, zinc, Aromadim is a product that I have in my shopping cart. It's one that I created that has all of those chemicals within the capsule. So then you're taking something that's super powerful. Women end up losing about 10 pounds in 5 days just by taking a supplement that's getting rid of all of the toxic estrogen in their body, because estrogen also equals fat, and all the other ones get fat. So taking that is a game changer even for weight gain. A substance called maca, right? Maca is a cruciferous plant that originates in Peru, and all of the Latinos, they take this. This is like old wives' tale. So the natural maca they use, as an antioxidant, and it's also a natural estrogen blocker. So if you don't have access to, vitamins that are already concentrated and put into capsules or into something oral that you swallow, maca is a really great estrogen blocker. Chrysin, that's also a flavonoid. It comes from passion fruit and passion flower. It's also in honey. Bees manufacture it. It's a proponent from bees when they're pollinating flowers. This chrysin comes from that. My supplement, the Aroma Dim, has this chrysin in it. I also make a prescription chrysin at higher doses, so it's almost like a royal jelly type of thing. Honey is just uh, so many different benefits come from honey. I recommend a tablespoon of honey right before you go to bed. It's anti-estrogen. It's high in antioxidants, antifungal, antibacterial, and it's so great for your gut right as you're going to bed because you have all of that good bacteria. So honey is something that you can buy in your local food market, right? Get the
yeah.
get the local, organic, raw honey.
Right, right. We talked about that in the last show too, about local honey and not getting honey from other places. And like Robert Brooker said, he got sick as a result of having honey from, I don't know, China or something like that. There's
Yep,
a
and
lot
then
of good information, and I just
yep.
want to say this to, I said that the title tonight, although it wasn't printed because it got taken down, but that's okay. Why am I here? And I think I'm speaking as well for Tamara and Dr. Jenny. We are here to help you through whatever you might be going through. Doesn't really uh, make a difference whether it's cancer to us or it's your health that's important to us. That's why we're here. We want you to be happy, healthy in mind, body, and soul. We thank you for joining us this evening. Uh, Join us every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Thank you so very much, Tamara, as well as
Thank
Dr.
you.
Jenny, for a great informative show this evening.
Yes, thank you, Tamara. Beautiful, lovely woman.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Jenny. Thank you,
Okay.
Stephen.
You're very welcome. Look up Tamara, chemobuddiesforlife.org,
CB4L. Yeah,
cb4l.org,
CB4L.org. Yes.
and Dr. Jenny, you can reach out to her at agevital.com. Thank you so very much. God bless you all. Be healthy. Reach out to someone if you're suffering. Let somebody be there for you. Okay, because that's the biggest sign of strength anybody can do is just ask for help. Thank you. God bless.
Amen. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.